the thing we have to do is to return to Socrates, the first one, Socrates, Plato, Aristotle. You know why? Socrates is known, what? For his statement of, the only thing I really know is that I don't know anything, that I know nothing, and his constant questioning. But I think this was an attitude that we need more than ever today. I put it like this. Socrates broke not only with the pre-philosophical cosmologies, where you immediately speculate about what the universe is. Usually you get some sexualized duality, like lightness and dark, masculine and feminine principle, whatever. Okay, with philosophy, this is over. But nonetheless, up to Socrates, philosophy was still in some sense similar to these pre-philosophical speculations. They took, the first philosophers, a kind of a panoramic view of all of reality and proposed some first founding principle or ground. For example, the one who is usually counted as the first philosopher, Thales. His idea was everything is water. Water is the ground of everything. And this is a very revolutionary statement at that time. You know why? Because it goes against the standard pre-philosophical cosmology stance, which is the earth. We all are on the earth as unmoved foundation of our life. No, he said water, which already means dynamic, borderless, and so on. But okay, Thales. Then we get Heraclitus, whose point is change, constant change, struggle, and so on. Then Democritus, atoms, and so on. But what I'm saying is that all of them were simply posing some fundamental principle of all reality. They were critical in some formal sense. Their solution contradicted other solutions. But it was still as if from some empty place, external position, we can take into our view all of reality, cosmos, and speculate about what our reality is at the most elementary level. With Socrates, things take a totally different turn. First, we should not forget, here I see the actuality of Socrates. We should not forget that he came in a moment of political crisis. The Greek traditional way of life, as embodied in polis, city-state, Athens, and so on, was in decay, was in the process of disintegration. So for Socrates, his position was a direct reaction to this social crisis. But what was his solution? It wasn't so much a new positive principle. It was very interesting. It was a radical questioning. Also, you can say self-questioning. Like, what's so interested in, at least early, what we know? We only know Socrates, of course, from Plato. Early and middle Plato's dialogues, Socrates does something which I claim is radically new in the entire history of humanity. He just asks questions about basically the meaning of the words. Like, I think in his early dialogues, they're typically about, okay, beauty. But what is beauty? Tell me. He probes into his opponent or partner. Tell me, what do you mean by beauty? Tell me, what do you mean by courage? Tell me, what do you mean by knowledge? Tell me, what do you mean by justice? And it doesn't matter that he doesn't arrive in the early dialogues, they end in confusion. He doesn't arrive at a simple solution. It's just this radical uncertainty. We don't know what words mean. And the beginning is to clarify this. And now I don't have time. People will get bored to go deeper into it. But the beautiful paradox of Socrates, at least as we know him from Plato, is that it's not that he begins with this and then he gets, of course, at eternal ideas as unchangeable forms, so that our common material reality is always changing, but it's a copy of eternal universe of ideas. No, he doubts even about this. He would have asked, okay, but what do you mean by idea? Okay, and so on. And here, for me, the greatest dialogue is Parmenides of Plato, which ends up in a total mess. It's a series of questioning of this, what is being, what is one, and so on. And again, it ends up in a total mess. And after that, Plato kind of retreats, steps back. But what is so important here? First, that for the first time, philosophy, and this is philosophy in the only serious sense, is directly presented as a reflection of the social crisis in which we are. And the idea of philosophy is that instead of directly proposing a solution, you risk this, it's not a good word, but let's say, you risk reducing yourself to this absolute zero of I'm a nobody, I know nothing, and so on. And then you hope that through this radical contraction, I'm just who I am, what do I know, what is out reality, and so on, you will get at some new universality.